it is my absolute pleasure to invite Dr. Mohammad Jehanzeb Khan, Deputy Chairman of the Planning Commission and Secretary Apex Committee of SIFC, to deliver his address as a guest of honor.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Honorable Minister of National Health Services, Dr. Kaisar, Dr. Tawqirul Haq, Secretary, National Health Services, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. I'm absolutely delighted this morning to be part of these proceedings. I'd like to congratulate the Pakistan Pharmaceutical Manufacturing Association for organizing this very important event, which brings together the captains of industry, researchers, academia, and independent experts to deliberate on the very important topic of development of pharmaceutical industry in Pakistan. I should say that this is one industry, a knowledge-based industry, which distinguishes itself in Pakistan since a long time. In other industrial pursuits, perhaps knowledge has not been so well employed as it has been in the pharmaceutical industry. We've had some outstanding international firms operating from Pakistan, and this is a long legacy. And in the process, the domestic industry has also developed and come at par to global standards. I'd like to congratulate you all for this outstanding achievement. It is no mean task. Ladies and gentlemen, the pharma industry is very important and also very sensitive. It has a direct impact on the well-being of the people of the country. And while it's extremely important that the industry is viable and profitable, it is also very important that the general public continues to get health services at an affordable and accessible manner. The government has been keen to make sure that the regulatory framework is such that it is fair, it is even, it is transparent, and takes interest of all stakeholders. There were times that the industry suffered because the pricing was not adjusted in time, and we saw some difficult period in the not too distant past. We at the Special Investment Facilitation Council, which perhaps you know is an entity created by the Government of Pakistan to facilitate investments and business. We are working closely with the association and the Ministry for National Health Services to make sure that we have a formula, we have a mechanism which takes into account timely adjustments in pricing and keeps the industry viable. I'm pleased to recall that together with the industry, we were able to a very large extent, resolve this difficult issue. And the industry has responded very well by coming back to its full form. There were times of shortages and exorbitant price increase of some drugs, which is now stabilizing. We also see the impact on exports, and that's also a very heartening area because Pakistan does need exports. Apart from domestic availability for this large population that we have, if we become an source of exports to other global countries, it would be extremely beneficial for the economy of Pakistan. We were part of the deregulation exercise, which also helped exports. And at the SIFC, we were mindful of the need to have new institutions which can help the exports in a big way, since we do look at this industry as a potential source of great export earnings. So the Pharma Export Council also was discussed widely at the SIFC, and we were able to bring the stakeholders together for this important institutional work. I'm sure you know better than us that the most important aspect in any industry, and particularly in the pharma industry, is continuous research and development. And now this research and development is taking new forms through innovation and the use of artificial intelligence. I'm informed that you have an expert here, him from Canada, who is going to talk about the application of artificial intelligence in this particular industry, but perhaps in another industry as well. So the world is changing rapidly, and we must keep pace if we want to be part of the global community. Ladies and gentlemen, it's also very important to mention that Pakistan has a large segment of population which lives in poverty. And it has exacerbated due to multiple reasons, recent floods, but also the contraction in the economy, which was important to stabilize it. Therefore, we have to be continuously mindful of the affordability of medicines which are of daily use, particularly those for chronic ailments, where the poor cannot afford. The government has a role in the provision of these medicines through their health services, hospitals, etc., but affordability must remain an important consideration. And to that end, I do believe that we have work to do in developing some of those salts that are required, finding new ways of manufacturing which lower down the costs, and also some self-regulating mechanism to ensure that abnormal price fluctuations don't take place. I'd like to also commend the role played by the Drug Regulatory Authority of Pakistan. It's a difficult business regulating pharmaceutical industry, but they've done a fine job balancing the interest of various stakeholders and to keep the industry moving forward. I'd like to also commend the Secretary for National Health Regulation and the Minister for the leadership that they have provided in these very important areas. We do have some issues. The issues of prosecution in drug courts has also vexed the industry. And a new policy has been now formulated at the SIFC, which has been notified by DRAP, to make sure that unnecessary harassment and prosecution does not take place. Finally, I'd like to encourage, and I'm very pleased to know also that some of the pharmaceutical companies are now registering with WHO and other institutions which give them international accreditation. Coming at par with international standards is absolutely important, not only for our own well-being, but also to be able to export and to be part of the global research and development which is ongoing and is happening at a very fast pace. I'd like to thank the organizers for inviting me to this very distinguished platform, and I wish you very well in your deliberations. Thank you.